February 9th, 2025. I feel like the camera, maybe it's just because I'm slouching a bit because I had a kitten on my lap. This is the 20th video, the 20th video for this series. You may have noticed my hair is different. It's because I take my glasses off whenever I'm cutting my hair with the clippers and didn't realize that the guard had been taken off, so all of this was bare. It's growing back very quickly, but you can see that. We are reading, if this is the first video, okay, if this is, I'm being stabbed by a kitten. Hello, that's my legs. Have you not figured this out yet? Come up here and be cute. Come up here for the camera. Come here. No, don't you start to. Come here, Jake. Come here. Come here. You were just being an adorable sleepy little baby. Now you gotta cause problems as soon as I start recording. Anyways, if you didn't get the memo, I haven't made a video in a while because rescued kittens in October, and they're causing chaos, aren't you? Aren't you? You want to come here if you're doing a slow blink at me? Come here. Come here. Look at the camera. Come here. Look at the camera. This is Mr. Lupin. Look at the camera. Just don't push the button with your nose. He's the little runt of the litter. When we found him... Ow, chicken, don't stab me. That's my legs. You guys should know this by now. I guess I'm not allowed to use a blanket. Alright, anyways. Rescued kittens in October because I was at the park taking pictures. And then they just came out of the woods. And Mr. Lupin, if you want to come back, stop stabbing me, please. Usually teaching kittens not to use their claws is very easy, but these guys are really stubborn about it. This is Mr. Lupin.
Had 3 weeks of reinforcement because they were at
Well, they got socialized every day for an hour by volunteers, so that's not an excuse. They're just being stupid. Anyways, Mr. Lupin rescued them because I realized both of his eyes were completely glued shut, and he literally had no idea it was there because he could not see from the infection.
Not to mention smaller than your hand.
Also, he was literally smaller than my hand. Here he is. Look at him. Look how big he is. He's still small, though. He needs to gain more weight. He's getting a little bit skinny because he's going through a growth spurt. So we have to give him wet food and lots of treats that he likes, just so he gets enough calories. Yeah. Anyways, if this is the first video in this playlist, you are clicking on the playlist of me reading these books out loud and giving you line-by-line commentary, not me rambling about these adorable little kittens. He's looking at the phone. They've been obsessed with my phone since I found them, so he might smack it with his paw and end the video. Please don't do that, little man. Don't do that. Thank you. You're so cute. He's just laying his little head on my arm to be adorable, and it's working. Anyways, if this is the first video you have clicked on in this series, we are more than halfway through. This is book 2 here. This is another book. We're just going to do another price comparison. We're more than halfway through book 2 here. So if you would like to not be baffled, find on our... Ow, can you... Oh my gosh, stop, chicken. Alright, I'm not allowed to have a blanket because they just want to stab my legs through it for some reason. If you don't want to be confused, find the playlist. If you should notice the number 20 at the start of this video. It's because it's the 20th one in the series. Go to our channel and just type in 101. Or if it appears in a playlist, it might suggest it on the side. I don't know how YouTube does stuff these days. We're more than halfway through book 2. So if you are fine with being confused and starting almost halfway through book 2, you're welcome to stay. Just don't complain that you have no idea what's going on, because you can start at the beginning anytime you want. Anyways, just for a price comparison, I was given this for Christmas. This book here, suggested price for US is $16.99. Suggested price for Canada is $22.50. This book has, we measured it before, the pages account for 1 centimeter. This one we haven't measured. This one, the suggested price is $19.99. Don't stab me. $19.99. And then I guess that's a European, I guess a pound maybe. It's got a little L-shaped thing. So if you're British, it costs you $10. 10 pounds, I guess. I don't know what you call them for slang. And where's this? Here's this. I was given this for Christmas. I've never heard of Monique Singleton before, but it's called Primal Nature. The
advertisement actually had a summary.
The summary is hilarious and sounds like something I would have written as a 12-year-old, and that is a compliment. Here's the summary. This is not an ad, by the way. I'm just reading it because... And then at some point I'll read this for this, and we'll compare the summaries and see how accurate they are. Subjected to decades of experiments, Subject 336 should have broken. Instead, she changed into something stronger, faster, and infinitely more dangerous. Now hunted by governments and feared by all who cross her path, she hides in the shadows, torn between bloodlust and her own fragile humanity. But one question plagues the minds of allies and enemies alike. Who is Subject 336? I would have written something like this as a 12-year-old. I just love experiment, escapes lab, and runs around. It's cool. Stick that back so nobody uses it as a scratching post.
You mentioned we haven't read this yet, but we bought this because the advertisement for it actually gave a description. Actually had a bit of the prose.
Indeed. Anyways, this doesn't have a summary on the back. It's on the inside. Actually, I'm not going to reread that because presumably if you've gotten this far, you're either resigned or very happy about starting in the worst place possible to be confused. Good for you. Or you've watched all of them and you probably don't want to see me reread the summary. And if you do want to see me reread it, don't stab me. If I suddenly just make a face, it's because a kitten has their claws out, even though they should know better. You literally have two toys right next to you. Look. Yeah, get that. You made me almost just dislocate my foot. You want to play with your little mouse? You want to get your mouse? Anyways, we are on page 60. And it's been a while. It's been probably a month or so. Again, I'm never going to get over the disgusting size of the margins. Look how much space there is at the bottom. Look how much space there is at the top. And that's all just to make it seem like there are more pages in this book than there actually are, because they're making sure that the text takes up the least amount of page possible, so that they can try to justify putting in more pages. Yeah. Hey. Also, for the record, I had started recording continuing this, and then I had to stop because I was staring off into the corner because the kittens were just starting to cause chaos and all this shit, and it just did not. Oh, sorry for stepping on your tail. It just did not get continued. So we're just starting afresh. Maybe I will upload those as bloopers. I don't know. Remember bloopers? Maybe not. They should make bloopers a thing again. Bloopers are fun. We just got past the part where Murderbot explained what its original plan was, which was the most straightforward, simple, and safest plan possible. It was just going to hack one of the actually not sentient autopilot spaceships, sneak aboard, sneak that over to the thing, go do stuff in secret, sneak back out. It would have literally been the simplest thing possible. But then Martha Wells' favorite character ever, Art, swoops in and says, actually, instead of doing the safe thing, how about... Oh, also, you might notice my glasses are different. Another reason I didn't continue is because my old glasses hadn't been replaced in 3+ years by accident, so whoopsie daisies. And also my eyes got a lot worse, especially this one on this side, this one. So, could not see a bunch of shit all of a sudden. Anyways, yeah, so instead of doing the simplest thing, Art is swooping in and saying, actually, how about we do this really, really dangerous way instead that puts you in unnecessary amounts of danger, leaves a massive paper trail to show that you were here, which also endangers everybody that interacts with you. And also, you're going to be under so much more stress than you would have. And then Murderbot has no objections whatsoever, and we just immediately pivot to doing that instead. Because Art says it, so therefore it's what's going on now, even though it makes no fucking sense. And it would have been the easiest fucking thing for Martha Wells to edit this so that it just fucking makes sense. And it isn't just throwing plan A, which was legitimately the best fucking plan, and just saying, no, we're gonna do it so much more difficult for no reason. She didn't have to do it this way, but she chose to, and it's just bad writing, and it's just like, can you please just edit your fucking drafts properly? Anyways, we're on page 60, quote unquote 60, because they insert a bunch of blank pages, and again, the margin. I'm not sure how big of a book this would be if they actually used the page economically, but I'm sure at some point, maybe, in the future when it's public domain, somebody will print the entire fucking series economically, and we'll see, and it will probably be hilariously small. I'm guessing, like, the whole series at max would take up, like, this much, if you actually printed it to just actually print as much book as possible. Once Art was docked and the transit ring's bot-piloted tugs were removing the cargo modules, it cycled the lock for me and I slipped through into the embarkation zone. It had given me access to its comms so it could ride my feed through the transit ring. It claimed it could help me, and while I was skeptical of that, it could at least keep me company. As I walked away from the safety of Art's lock, I dropped back down to 96% efficiency. I hit the station entertainment feeds for new downloads to try to calm down. Also, hold on, let me get it. Oh, there's my bottle of water. I feel like something just fell off. Yes, my hat. Wasn't Murderbot at some point complaining about a lack of storage space? I'm pretty sure it was doing that in book 1, and now it's just casually, downloading every single thing that it comes across.
Yeah, that's why it deleted a bunch. That's why it deleted the survey reports
that was
and shit for why.
Explicitly in book 1. The reason that Murderbot didn't know who they were was that it needed the storage space for media and shit. Meaning, in book 1 at least, books, TV shows, plays, musicals, audio dramas, not just TV shows. But the flanderization has already started. So, bless you. That was a cat sneeze. So, explicitly, in book 1, it struggled with its internal storage space and struggled to keep enough space to download all the TV shows and books and shit it watches. And that disappeared before this book even began. It has infinite storage space now. It never has to juggle anything. Or worried about. Can you come over here? Why don't you want to sit with me now? Huh? You gonna come back? Oh, it's because you're getting a bath. Okay, you can go get a bath. No. I don't know if you can tell. His fur's all mussed up because he's getting a bath from his sister. You can go get a bath. He's just gonna sit here now. He might try to stab me and the book because he wants to be. Yes, you're so cute. You gonna curl up and go to sleep? You want to purr louder so they can hear that? He said no, I'm just gonna sit here. So again, we're already removing obstacles and stakes, including just the basic stake of managing your storage space on your fucking phone, which is inside Murderbot's head. Where was I? Hi, look at his adorable little face. Thank you. He's looking at you. That's you. That's your little face. He's so sleepy. I'd already sent a message to the social feed node about the advertisement and gotten an answer with a location and timestamp. The last time I'd had an arranged meeting with humans, they kidnapped Mensa and blew me up, so this could hardly be worse. Also, the last time Murderbot had a arranged a meeting with humans, that was when Martha Wells literally could not think of a single fucking way for the actual heroes to outsmart the villains or outcompete them in an actual fight or anything, so that literally the only way the book could end with the heroes quote-unquote winning was to literally tell I'm not even joking, they literally told the villains, hey, you know your nuclear bomb over there? We're gonna blow it up. And then they were given no proof that this was a thing that they had the ability to do because of all the safeguards that were supposed to be there. And then Murderbot was like, oh yeah, we can definitely do that. We definitely know how to set off a nuclear bomb that has a whole bunch of safeguards on it. We can totally do that. And then they didn't actually ask for proof or anything. And the bad guys, that is, no. Just be chill, Mr. Shiny Fur. They literally just, the bad guys were like, oh my god, they're gonna set off our nuclear bomb, and literally sprinted over there. Not literally sprinted, but they literally ran over there as fast as they could in their fastest little spaceship, and then landed next to the nuclear bomb, and then went over to stare at the, it's my hand, I'm gesturing. You don't need to try and smack it. That's not what hands are for. Hands are for petting you, not for being smacked. They literally ran over to the nuclear bomb that they were just told is going to be detonated, and then literally stood around staring at it at point blank range. Not even trying to defuse it, not trying to disarm it.
Like Wile E. Coyote.
Huh?
I said they ran over like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, they ran over like Wile E. Coyote and literally just stood around in point blank directly in front of the bomb that they were literally just told was going to go off. And then it goes off and they all die. Literally, that's how the first book ended, because Martha Wells is fucking shit at writing and literally could not think of a single way for the actual protagonists
and Murderbot
to do anything.
Gets knocked unconscious,
oh, also, Murderbot conveniently got knocked unconscious because she couldn't think of any way for Murderbot to react to this situation, or any way to actually show this situation being resolved, created by the blowing up of the bad guys with the nuclear bomb. So the protagonist, literally just conveniently falls unconscious so that she doesn't actually have to write anything to actually resolve this situation in any way.
Included.
Yeah. She doesn't conclude stories. She doesn't even end most fight scenes. It's just, and then the character very conveniently got knocked unconscious. Moon fell unconscious, so we don't actually need to show any of the supposed resolution. We're just gonna have a time skip, and then everything's fine, and then the book will end on a random fucking line that doesn't make any sense, with the moral that women belong in the kitchen so that their husbands don't have to worry about them. Not joking. Anyways, yeah, so again, I cannot stress enough. The first book, it only ends and is quote-unquote resolved by the bad guys being told a bomb was going to go blow up, so they literally ran over to stand in front of it and got themselves blown up. Because Martha Wells is shit at writing and wrote herself into a situation and then literally could not be bothered to figure out any meaningful, bare minimum, logical way for them to get out. I hacked my way through embarkation zone security and out into the ring's mall. It was utilitarian compared to both the last transit ring and port-free commerce. No garden pods, no hollow sculptures, no big hollow displays advertising arrays of shipwrights and cargo factors and other... This is a very long sentence for reading out loud. Also, I might have had COVID for a third time, but mostly asymptomatically because I keep getting out of breath more than before, which is irritating as hell. No garden pods, no hollow sculptures, no big hollow displays advertising arrays of shipwrights and cargo factors and other businesses, no shiny new interface vending machines, period. Also, no big passenger transports coming through, so not nearly as big a crowd of humans or bots. Hey, look! For once, we have not said humans or augmented humans or bots. We've just let augmented humans, aka cyborgs, aka physically disabled people, exist within the category of human. That's one of the few times that's allowed to fucking happen. Woohoo! Bare minimum lack of abject ableism. Art's idea was beginning to seem less like a stupid... Okay. Art's idea was beginning to seem like less of a stupid risk and more like a necessity. Okay? But if you think it's a stupid risk, why are you going along with it without question from literally just right over here? What do you mean it seems like a stupid risk, but you're going along with it? You didn't even have to be convinced. So again, this is her lampshading the fact that they're doing a terrible fucking plan after Murderbot had literally the best, safest, most efficient plan, and then we went with the shitty plan instead that just creates so many more problems. And now we're acknowledging that it's a stupid risk. But why are you going along with it then? Art's idea was beginning to seem like less like a stupid risk and more like a necessity. Blending in here would be harder if everyone was only here on their way to and from the installations on the moon. In my feed, Art said, "I told you so." Because according to Martha Wells, Art is always right. Because it's her favorite character ever, and also obvious apologism, and also this is bullshit. No, this doesn't do anything to prove that Art was right, because Murderbot's literal plan was to avoid walking through this fucking area in the first place. It was literally going to steal a fucking regular goddamn spaceship that is not a living ship, not a person in any way, and just sneak past this bullshit. Art is the reason that Murderbot is being put into the dangerous zone for literally no reason, except very clearly that Art wants to play with its shiny new fucking toy and stress Murderbot out and just do shit for no fucking reason. I told you so. It was literally never going to come here at all. Literally never. It was literally going to sneak past all of this bullshit. This is the midway station. This is like the middleman of the fucking thing. Because for Art's plan at least, we have to land on the big space station and then go over to this other place and get permission to do that and leave a fucking paper trail. And also, put Murderbot's face on all of the fucking security cameras, put its fucking face in the memories of everybody here, and then just do all this extra bullshit for no fucking reason. And now it's like, oh, I told you so. You couldn't have snuck through here. It was literally not going to do that. It was literally not going to do that in any way. It was literally going to go directly to where it needed to go in stealth and come back in stealth without interacting with anyone. There's no, I told you so. You are literally creating the situation that is not fucking good. That's not how this works. But we're not supposed to be aware of the fact that this is the worst possible plan that Art is forcing Murderbot into, because Martha Wells just wants us to think. She doesn't even want us to remember from literally less than a full fucking page ago, Murderbot's actual original plan that was literally going to work perfectly. We're just supposed to think, oh yeah, of course Murderbot could not have possibly gone through its original plan, because its original plan wouldn't work with Art's plan, even though it was nothing like Art's plan, because it was literally avoiding all of this shit. The location for the meeting was a food service place in the main mall area. It was in a large transparent bubble in the second level of the mall, overlooking the walkways and counter service stalls below. Also, please note the lack of description of this actual space station. We're getting told there's things here. We're not actually told what it looks like. Like, for all we know, this mall could all be consisting of hot fucking neon pink with eye-burning yellow accents. We don't know. Everybody here could be wandering around in fucking pajamas. There's no actual descriptions of what the place looks like. Like, is it really fucking dirty gray metal? Is it landlord white? Is it any, what is What does it actually fucking look like? If you walk into a mall, if you live somewhere that malls still exist or existed ever, they can look very different. It's not like a mall has a defined fucking thing that it looks like. Like, you can't just say, there's a transparent bubble in the second level of the mall, overlooking walkways and counter service stalls below. Do you know how I could give that description to so many people and just tell them to draw it, and they would draw 50 million different fucking things, because nothing there is actually descriptive. You can imagine anything you want, because it's not telling you what to imagine. Besides, there's buildings, there's stalls. We don't even get to know what the stalls are selling, or bare minimum what they look like. Are they super professional and sleek? Are they ramshackle? Were they hastily cobbled together? Are they all forced to follow some kind of branding, coloration, style, anything whatsoever? What is it they call it in video games? Is it, besides aesthetic, like, what?
A theme?
Yeah, what's the fucking theme of the place? We don't get to know any of that. It's just, it's a mall. Why should I describe what it looks like to you? All malls look the same, apparently. It was in a large, transparent bubble in the second level of the mall, overlooking the walkways and counter service stalls below. I feel like I should just start an art group, out of spite, and just give people descriptions from these books. What little the bare minimum, not even actually describing anything that we get from these books. Yeah. And then just say, just draw what you think that could, draw that. And just show all of the different things that it looks like. And, like, the fact that everybody draws Murderbot and the other characters looking completely different is not a compliment to Martha Wells. That is showing her fucking failure. Because I think we've discussed the racism and white supremacy and plausible deniability enough. I'll continue reading. There were multiple open levels inside, with tables and chairs, and it was 40% full of humans and augmented humans. I just gave it a compliment for not dehumanizing disabled people, and it did it again, just out of fucking spite. Fuck you, Martha Wells. Huh? Miss Ozma! Ozma, you want to come here? Say hi? Is she even looking this way?
No.
Nope, okay. It was 40% full of humans and augmented humans, because fuck physically disabled people. What is the meme? Never mind. Whatever. As I walked through, I picked up the occasional buzz of a drone, but no pings. There were also... have they made drones not be ridiculously fucking loud in the future? Because, again, we keep getting told all of this shit is super cheap. If it's super cheap, then why aren't the drones just deafening like they are in real life? I picked up the occasional buzz of a drone, but no pings. And once again, I'm going to bring this up every time pings come up. We've never been given any fucking explanation for what a ping is in this universe and how it functions, because it seems to change rules every single fucking time. As most things in a Martha Wells book do, it does whatever is needed in that exact moment to make the plot work, even if it contradicts everything else. There were food smells in the air, and the acrid scents of intoxicants. I didn't bother to try to analyze and identify them. I was too nervous and trying to focus on looking like an augmented human. Also, Murderbot has never attempted to identify specific food or alcohol smells. That wasn't a thing in book 1, and it was never hinted even in book 1, so I don't know why that is being specified. It's completely fucking unnecessary. And also, Martha Wells' favorite excuse for not describing anything or having world building in this is that, well, Murderbot wouldn't care. Murderbot's hypervigilant and is supposed to be obsessed with security. It's the exact fucking character that would be obsessing over every single fucking thing. If Murderbot were competently written as a character that's meant to be hyper vigilant and obsessed with security. We would be getting detailed fucking schematics of every single fucking building it goes into, the volume of people compared to whatever limits are put on that building for occupancy, the amount of air, all of this shit. That would just be getting laid out the second it fucking steps foot into anywhere at the start of each chapter. Just the fucking statistics for the building, escape routes, probability of escape time, how long it would take to get there without injuries, all based on whoever the fuck is the slowest in the group that Murderbot has to guard, how long it would take to get there if Murderbot has to drag everybody, all this shit. This is just basic fucking writing if you actually give a single fuck. But Martha Wells doesn't. The humans I was to meet and again, Murderbot's too fucking nervous trying to pretend to be something it's not. Actually, no, but it literally is an augmented human because it's a fucking cyborg. But it's probably never going to be allowed to figure that out because Martha Wells is racist and would rather do slavery apologism and dehumanize slaves and dehumanize physically disabled people, and especially dehumanize physically disabled enslaved people. And again, Murderbot doesn't need to be here. It was literally going to it was literally just going to hijack a fucking taxi and sneak past all of this shit. It's only here because Art is an abusive fucking asshole who wants to play with Murderbot's fucking life like it's a goddamn toy. The humans I was to meet had sent an image so I could find them. Ozma! Ozma! Look here! She's not even remotely looking this way. Come say hi, Ozma! She's literally not even looking at me. Hey! There's nothing on the TV. Why are you staring?
She saw the Corsair go over that way.
Ozma! She could not give any fewer fucks. Hello, I'm talking to you, little cutie pie. I can't snap my fingers. She said, no, I am not going. She's literally not even looking. Alright, anyways, Ozma's the gray stripy kitten who had to have her eye removed. It's seemingly fully healed shut now because she got her surgery. She said, no, you don't get to see her. Hey, Ozma! Ozma! Now she looked this way and then immediately looked away again. Thank you, Mr. Lupin. At least you come when I call you. The humans I was to meet had sent an image so I could find them. There were 3 of them. Aw, she got smacked in the face. Her babysitter. Very gently. They're not mean to her. He said no. She loves just ramming herself full body into the older cats, and they're just like, can you not? She also loves to meow really loudly at people like she's yelling at them when they're just, and that's her way of saying hi. Because she's silly. Hello, thank you for not using your claws. The humans I was to meet had sent an image so I could find them. There were 3 of them, all wearing variations on work clothes. No uniform logos. And again, what the fuck do work clothes look like in a super, super sci-fi future far into the goddamn future where humans have colonized all sorts of planets and the word Earth has never come up? What do work clothes look like then? Because work clothes can mean literally anything. Work clothes can mean wearing a fucking fancy suit if you're a fancy rich waiter at a rich fancy restaurant. Work clothes can mean a fucking McDonald's uniform. Work clothes can mean literally fucking anything. It could mean a damn janitor's outfit. It could mean wearing, I don't know what park rangers or whatever wear. It could mean just anything. Work clothes, you have to fucking specify these things, and this is why.
And now she's gone the opposite direction.
Supposedly, because people keep claiming that book 1 has too many descriptions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I meant
so,
Witch King style.
Oh, yeah.
She
supposedly
painfully describes everybody's clothing.
Let me get a drink.
Ridiculous, horrific detail.
Mm-hmm.
And she does that in Platform Decay, apparently.
Don't fall, water bottle. Yeah, this is another oh, there it fell. This is another anti-description. What does work clothes mean? What does that mean? Again, I've played Fallout 4. Work clothes could mean a fucking synth uniform. What's that? You good? Well, you good? You want to say hi to the camera? Nope. Work clothes could mean literally anything. So, there were 3 of them, all wearing variations on work clothes. No uniform logos. And it's like, okay, there's like 2 different things being referenced there. Work clothes and uniform. But they're also not wearing a logo. So why would it be a uniform if it's not a fucking logo and if they're all wearing different things, which is the word variations on work clothes. A quick search had shown entries for them in the Transit Ring's social feed. They had listed themselves as unaffiliated guest workers, but you could list yourself as anything. There was no identity check. 2 were female, and 1 was tercera, which was a gender signifier used in the group of non-corporate political entities known as the Divarti Cluster. And again, non-corporate political entities. That just means a regular fucking government. And there could be a purpose in using this fucking corporate speak bullshit, but there is no actual purpose. It's literally just there to pad out the word count and seem sci-fi and sophisticated, but it's just fucking corporate speak, unironically, in a series that's supposed to be criticizing capitalism. Also, this is just more of Martha Wells' fucking bullshit and extra-sexism. People love to say, oh, well, see, there's a character who uses neopronouns in book 2, so that means that the series isn't stereotyping non-binary people, except no. Nope. Not. This isn't actually fucking progressive in any way. You'll see why. Well, in case you've never read this book before, you'll see why very shortly. To initiate the meeting, I'd had to make an entry on the social feed too. The system was extremely vulnerable to hacking, so I had backdated my entry to look like I had come in on an earlier passenger transport, listed my job as security consultant, and my gender as indeterminate. Posing as its own captain, Art gave me a prior employment reference. Also, that first sentence there could do with some fucking editing. Let me read it again. The system was extremely vulnerable to hacking, comma, oh, pause, hold on. Another reason I haven't made one of these videos in, since October probably, is because my laptop, is not working. I can technically turn it on, but at
what cost?
At what cost? Okay, in case this is your first video, my laptop's battery has not worked for years. I refuse to get a new one until it literally explodes or something, because it's just fucking wasteful, and also, I'm not going to do this bullshit where I buy what is supposed to be a laptop that will last a reasonable amount of time and then they do obsolescence bullshit and it immediately stops working. Battery hasn't worked for years. It has to be plugged in all the time in order to turn on because the battery doesn't work, even though I made sure never to overcharge it. That was fine. I don't give a shit. I'm fine with plugging it in. But now the charger cord itself, either the port for the laptop or the end of the cord, I don't know which one, has some problems now. So if it gets moved even a tiny bit, it shuts the laptop down. So I will, instantly. No warning, just boop, power off. So far it hasn't caused any massive problems with the computer itself from abruptly shutting down. But the more times it happens, the more likely it is to cause a massive fucking computer boom or something. Not literally explode, but just fuck up all the programs. So if you missed the memo, I have been editing the transcripts that YouTube supplies to make the subtitles actually accurate, and since my computer cannot be trusted, I will not be able to edit these subtitles until I can either hook up an actual keyboard to my phone or figure something else out. If anybody wants to volunteer to edit the subtitles, I don't know why you would, but I guess you technically can. I did ask people and they voted yes, keep making the videos even if the subtitles can't be edited. So that's why I'm doing this. I will attempt to edit them on my phone, but that's going to take forever because I can't type for shit on this phone, and also don't really have a program for my phone for it. So the subtitles most likely won't be accurate if you're watching this video when it's new, and probably not for a while after that, so I apologize. There are certain words that it absolutely will fuck up. If it says, if I'm saying sec unit, SECUNIT, it will probably change it to sex unit or something, because Martha Wells didn't fucking think that through. It's very clear she didn't say the word sec unit out loud enough before publishing book 1. She didn't think that through. That's literally what it sounds like. And also, I don't think Bharadwaj is in here, so hopefully that will be the one time I have to say that name, because it never spells it correctly, and I don't know how I could possibly pronounce it to try and get it to spell it properly. Yeah. Hopefully they're not too bad, but I just wanted to say that. Okay. Oh yeah, this sentence could do with some work. The system was extremely vulnerable to hacking, comma, so I had backdated my entry to look like I had come in on an earlier passenger transport, comma, listed my job as security consultant, comma, and my gender as indeterminate. It just sounds slightly off. Just sounds weird. Like, it's not horrible, but there's just something weird about it that I feel like needs to be edited. Also, this, again, please note specifically what is being listed here. I listed, blah, 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 listed my job as security consultant and my gender as indeterminate. That's the information Murderbot is giving its employers, prospective employers, about it. Gender, indeterminate. Job, security consultant. That's all they know. You know what's missing from there? Pronouns. And you will see, because Martha Wells is an exer-sexist, she doesn't actually support trans people. We make the world too scary and complicated for her. If she can't just assume people's genders from looking at them, she doesn't like that. She hates the fucking concept that you could ever have to simply ask somebody what their pronouns are, or just, the horror of horrors, have them tell you. She hates that, and you can fucking tell from her writing, especially with System Collapse, which, until this newest thing, was the newest published book. Also, if I keep lifting my glasses, it's because my ears are fucking crooked. My entire body is crooked. This ear is so annoying, so it just makes this side fall down all the time. She hates trans people. She doesn't actually support us. She can't imagine anything worse than simply asking or sharing pronouns with people. So again, to specify, Murderbot has listed its job as security consultant and its gender as indeterminate. No such thing as, and I listed my pronouns as it's. And we know that it didn't do that. You'll see. Posing as its own captain, Art gave me a prior employment reference. I spotted them at a table near the bubble overlooking, and again, bad usage of pronouns. We shouldn't be saying them, because we just referenced Art. So we should be saying, I spotted the people I was supposed to be meeting, or in this case, the humans. Clients. I spotted the humans I was coming to meet. I spotted the potential clients, etc. But we're just saying them, even though that pronoun them can only connect back to Art, because that's how pronouns work. Pronouns work, you say a name, give me a name.
Polychrome.
You say the name Polychrome, and then you say a pronoun like them. There's Polychrome. I gave them a piece of catnip plant. I don't know. I gave them a bag of cat treats. Who is this them referring to? Polychrome, by the rules of all language. If it then turns out I'm actually talking about somebody completely different,
A pet sitter.
if I'm talking about the person pet sitting Polychrome, because she's a cat. She's asleep. If I say, there's Polychrome, I gave them a bag of cat treats, and the them there is referring to the person pet sitting her instead of Polychrome herself, that's me being...
You've been talking about two different people, including yourself.
Huh?
I said after you.
Yes, after I've literally just referred to myself and the cat. The them must refer back to the last fucking proper noun stated, which in this case is Polychrome, and in this case is literally art. Art gave me a blah 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 art. I spotted them. This is just basic fucking grammar. This is basic streamlined communication. You don't say, like, again, here, posing as its own captain, art. That's fine. Because we are saying that art is posing as its own captain. Because that sentence is just going in a little loop. That's fine. This isn't. And I know everybody's gonna be like, oh, that's nitpicking. This is basic shit. And Martha Wells has been writing for longer than you've probably been alive. Almost longer than I've been alive.
No, she has been writing.
Yeah, she has been writing longer than she's literally been writing longer than I've been alive. There's no excuse for this shit. This book was published in because that was the year of the fucking scam started. This book was published in 2018. Because the entire first 4 books are literally just one fucking story very blatantly chopped into 4 for DLC culture for books so that they could sell 4 fucking books for the price of a massive fucking novel each. You know, that fucking book I pointed out at the beginning? Same fucking price, pretty much, for this bullshit. And this is only a 4th of what is very clearly just one goddamn story chopped into 4. This is published in 2018. Martha Wells has been writing since at least 1993. That's when she started publishing. There's no fucking excuse for this shit. This is basic shit. And she never gets better at it. Just as she's never fucking improved in having one fucking character's dialogue per goddamn paragraph. The thing most fanfiction writers learn within their first year of publishing fanfiction. She's been writing publishing since 1993. No idea how long writing before that. And she still, in 2026, is literally not fucking separating different characters' fucking dialogues into 2 separate paragraphs. And she's still not fucking using pronouns correctly. This is just the bare fucking minimum, and she's not doing it.
And they're not even editing.
And it gets worse. She's actively getting worse at writing because everybody keeps just making all of the excuses for her. I spotted them at a table near the bubble overlooking the mall. And again, we still don't know what this fucking bubble looks like or what the mall looks like. We're just repeating the information that's not actual information. This could be a dimly lit, dingy fucking, I don't know, post-apocalyptic.
And those could be the bubbles.
Mm-hmm. They were having a tense, whispered conversation, and again, see, I spotted them at a table near the bubble overlooking the mall. That sentence could be fine if the next fucking sentence started with, the humans were blah 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 blah. Because you can say, characters blah blah blah, I walked into the room and then I saw it. You can say that. Or you can say, I walked into the room and then I saw him. And then that's its own paragraph for suspense. And then we get the reveal of what this it/him or whoever, whatever pronoun we use is. In the case of, I walked into the room, and then I saw it, it would be like a dead body, or a werewolf, or some scary fucking weirdo monster thing. Just something. But we're not doing that. We just continue using the unspecified pronoun they. I spotted them at a table near the bubble of... Oh, you want to tell everybody those statistics? Because this is in parentheses over here. You want to share those statistics? If you remember them?
I have them written down still.
Okay. Just make sure you talk louder or lean this way past the cardboard. We're interrupting our third page just for some hilarious statistics for you to keep in mind, as we've pointed out, the Flanderization,
Has already started.
it started. You don't know the depths to which it will descend. Because remember, in book 1, Murderbot didn't just watch TV shows. It read books. It listened to music. It's already reduced to only watching TV shows, and at that, 2 of them in
Doesn't
particular.
watch documentaries or
That's it.
anything.
We don't even get any details or hints of anything else besides, we totally watched some documentaries, but none of them are listed by name. And that's the last time that will happen, because from now on, it's just the rise and fall of Sanctuary Moon and World Hoppers, and that's fucking it. It's gonna get so much worse. And as for the parentheses, are you actually looking for...
Parenthetical asides. Yes, I have it pulled up. I was waiting until you were done.
Okay. Listen to this. This portent of what is to come. It's actually not a portent, it's just the literal cold hard facts. Are you ready? Go!
For book 1, which is 176 pages, officially, according to Amazon.
Not really, but
Officially, according to Amazon,
just talk a bit louder just to be sure.
there are the number of fucks given in all variations of that word is 3. The number of shits given is 9.
Pause so I can summarize. In book 1, the word fuck was used and variations was used 3 times. The word shit and variations was used 9 times. Continue.
The number of parenthetical asides,
aka things in
is
parentheses. 20 separate parentheses thingies. That's counting the first one. So all of the parentheses, things in parentheses, there were 20 of them in book 1.
Am I giving the stats for book 2?
Yep. You're giving them all.
Book 2, which is 16 pages shorter than book 1 at 160 pages,
Officially.
officially. The number of fucks given, 9. The number of shits given, 4. The number of parenthetical asides, 41. Doubled. And not to
We
mention
tripled the number of F-bombs. What did shits go to?
4. Down
Okay.
from 9.
We did decrease the usage of the word shit. And then we doubled, and then some, the number of things in parentheses. We went from 20 in the first book to 44 in this book. This of which is one of them. You can continue.
Book 3, which is 160 pages, the same length as Artificial Condition.
Supposedly.
Officially, supposedly.
Officially.
Number of fucks given, 12. Number of shits given, 16. Can we have a drum roll for the number of parenthetical asides?
Sorry, I didn't mean to
from
start
book
it.
1, which is 20, to 41 in book 2, and the exact same page count for book 3, we have 119 parenthetical asides.
Did you hear that?
And that's not even the worst.
Book 1, usage of parentheses, 20. Book 2, this one, 44. Book 3, it was what?
119.
119.
It gets worse.
And it gets, that's not even the worst of it. You might be thinking, how can it possibly get worse? And also, yes, they did take the time to fucking scour the books for all of this information so you can enjoy it now. Ready?
Book 4, which is 176 pages, which is the same length as book 1. Number of fucks given, 24. Number of shits given, 15. Number of parenthetical asides is 130.
We're now at 130 usage of parentheses.
And then there's Network Effect, book 5.
Oh boy.
352 pages.
Just say it super loud just to be sure, because
Book
This-
5, Network Effect, is 352 pages. The number of fucks given is 60. The number of shits given is 40. And the number of parenthetical asides is 426.
there's I hope you can all hear that. 426 usages of parenthetical asides in network effect, which is literally more than it has fucking pages, unironically. You said 400,
that one.
yeah, 426 parenthetical asides in how many pages?
352.
In 352 pages. Like, what's that ratio?
I don't know math.
Also,
but book 7 System Collapse is worst.
Is that the one where we went through with the fake highlighter?
I don't know.
Okay, continue.
Book 6, which is the very first book that came completely out of chronological order, purely just to string people along and get more money and fill in the publishing gap uselessly with the random ass one shot that makes absolutely no fucking sense and does nothing. It is 176 pages, same page count as the first one and whatever else I said that was. Number of fucks given, 37. Number of shits given, 22. Parenthetical asides, 162. So we're down a little bit.
Literally 162 uses of parentheses in book 6 compared to 20 in book 1 for the same official amount of pages.
And then there's System Collapse. There's System Collapse. And if the early reviews are anything to go by,
no, that's not the
blow it out of the water.
Oh boy. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
System Collapse is 256 pages. The number of fucks given is 188. The number of shits given is 126. And the number of parenthetical asides. If you thought it was bad when there were 426 parenthetical asides in 352 pages, get ready for book 7, which has 538 in 256
I forgot
pages.
it was that many.
Yeah.
538 parenthetical asides in what pages?
256.
In 256 pages.
And it should be noted that those are the official page counts
Those are the
Amazon, and Platform Decay, according to Amazon, has the exact same page count. But
as network effect or system collapse?
As system collapse.
Okay, I was gonna say she's gonna be just
page count.
Oh my god.
One of the early reviews that actually gave a more in-depth review for it, other than just people mindlessly squeeing, is how many parentheses there are on just the first handful of pages. So, yeah, it's going to be very funny when that comes out.
Yeah. And also, some people might be saying, but you swear in these videos. Yeah, I'm talking about bigotry and just bullshit bad writing. And also, the thing about these videos is I'm not sitting down at a computer and typing things out and going, hopefully, we hope, through multiple drafts and then getting them professionally edited and published and making you pay money for them. This is completely off the cuff. Obviously, I have no fucking script. I'm swearing from what I'm reading. If I were writing a fucking book, I would not be swearing this much unless it were for some kind of fucking purpose in the book. You might say the fucking book. And, yeah.
And we're reading out these numbers because it's a thing.
We're reading out these numbers.
Super fans.
Yeah.
Because everyone's just like, okay, this is just getting. Where does my favorite character go? We're just getting more and more.
A lot of the ARC copies, which is advanced reader copy, meaning they send out a book before it's officially published to get reviews. A lot of them are saying, was this fucking written by ChatGPT? Because if you told me this was written by AI, I would believe you. Because it's just the same fucking thing over and over again, the exact same tired plot, no actual development, and everything just keeps getting exaggerated after it's already been exaggerated 8 times before now, and it just keeps getting worse. And the quality is just declining instead of getting better or even maintaining. Yeah, so what did we say? 16%? I think it was 19 or something audience retention who continued to read to System Collapse. So yeah, needless to say.
As your last aside, you can mention that they once again gave All Systems Red away for free in an effort
Yeah,
to get
apparently
people to
just
buy
a few months ago, they again gave away All Systems Red for the first book completely for free, because a bunch of people were mentioning that in reviews as well.
Is
Yeah.
the only reason they read it.
Yeah, that's the only reason a lot of people read these books, because they literally get them for free. I don't think there's any other things we need to specify, but yeah, just keep those numbers in mind, because the flanderization has started and it will only get worse, and nothing will actually improve whatsoever. Anyways,
To the point even the loyal fans.
even the most diehard fans are like, I'm sorry, I have to give up on this, because there's nothing here for me. I thought this series started out so great, and I wanted to stick it out, but it's just, there's nothing. This is just abysmal. And again, let's just restart this paragraph without any fucking proper grammar. Just the basics of communication. Your job as an author is to communicate. That includes on a line-by-line basis. I spotted them at a table near the bubble overlooking the mall. They were having a tense, whispered conversation, and body language said they were nervous. As I walked toward them, my quick scan showed no weapon signatures, just the small power sources of their personal feed interfaces. Also, what do you mean, weapon signatures? What does that fucking mean? Because that seems to be referring to energy weapons, as though they emit some kind of special energy. But, like, you know what wouldn't emit some kind of special energy? A regular fucking gun. A knife. A slingshot. Why are we saying there's no weapon signatures, as though that covers all the bases? That's ridiculous. Somebody could just have a fucking brick in a goddamn bag, like Dewey, and just swing their fucking bag. They could have a heavy fucking book in there. But yeah, oh, there's no weapon signatures. Knives exist. Regular fucking guns exist. Slingshots exist. Hair needles that are actually fucking for stabbing could exist. Hat pins. Those are a thing. As I walked toward them, my quick scan showed no weapon signatures, just the small power sources of their personal feed interfaces. One had an implant, but it was just a low-level feed access tool. And again, you'll notice we've never been given any physical description or just a description of the capabilities of any of these fucking things.
Like, what's the difference between a...
What's the fucking difference between a feed interface and an implant, besides one of them you get inserted in your body? Where does it go? Is it just getting stuck on the side of your head? Are they... Where does it go? Basic information. And we are lacking it, because Martha Wells doesn't actually want to put in the bare minimum amount of effort to write a story properly when we are being charged stupid amounts of money for these things. I had practiced this part with Art on Approach to the Ring, recording myself so both of us could critique it. And again, we are only being told these things afterwards, after they've supposedly happened.
First draftisms.
What?
I said first draftisms.
They said first draftisms. Things you're supposed to fucking fix when you go back through it again to edit. Like, why couldn't we just have seen Murderbot and Art practicing this shit? Why do we have to be told it? It would have actually shown them bonding, which... Too fucking late for that. Everything she chose to write and publish just makes Art a fucking... just an unrepentant abuser. And an asshole, and not in the cutesy, ironic way. No, it's a genuinely fucking horrible person that Murderbot should be kept far the fuck away from, and it's just an abuser. But we're supposed to think it's awesome, because Martha Wells loves romanticizing abusive relationships. Ozma, you can come here and I will pet you. I had practiced this part with Art on Approach to the Ring, recording myself so both of us could critique it. I told myself I could do this. I put on my best neutral expression, the one I used when the extra download activity had been detected and the deployment center's supervisor was blaming the human text for it. And that's supposed to be funny, but it's like... Martha Wells. She wants to have it both ways. We're supposed to we're supposed to like slave owners when they're Murderbot slave owners, but then we're also just supposed to be fine with Murderbot getting what could be other slaves in trouble, and just all of this shit. And, like, at the very least, getting low-wage workers in trouble for no reason. And it's like, so we're supposed to care about literal slave owners, but not the minimum wage employees. Like, there's no fucking consistency here, whatever. And it's just like, there's just no fucking solidarity in any fucking way, shape, or form. Not that Murderbot needs to have solidarity with people who literally work for the company, but we're not even discussing that because we're over here worshiping slave owners every other fucking step of the way. So it's just fucking ridiculous when these slave owners are good. These people who work for the slave company, possibly not by choice. It's funny when they get in trouble for something that Murderbot did, and it's like, which way is it? Because the only consistent thing is that we worship the rich people, because everybody on the Preservation Aux team is disgustingly fucking rich. They're disgustingly rich. They're all rich people. These people that Murderbot is getting in trouble and we're supposed to laugh at it, they're not. So, literally, we are always siding with the rich in this story, even when they are explicitly slave owners who went out of their way to become slave owners. Again, Martha Wells is not progressive in any fucking way. She really fucking hates poor people. Go through this book and look at the poor people that actually exist as actual characters that we are meant to see positively. There are literally none. Zero. Every single character in this story that we are meant to like is a fucking disgustingly rich slave owner. Every single one of them.
Out of touch.
No, that comes with the disgustingly rich. I walked up to the table and said, "Hello." All three of them flinched. Hello, the Tercera said, recovering first. I picked up the feed from the security camera so I could watch myself and make sure my facial expressions were under control, and it was easier to talk to the humans while watching them through the cameras. I was well aware it was a completely false sense of distance from the situation, but I needed it. And again, Murderbot doesn't need to be put in such a stressful situation that it is purposefully disassociating. It doesn't need to be doing this. It could have just snuck past all this. We could have had a story that just the characters make decisions that make a bare minimum amount of sense instead of this. Because again, Martha Wells didn't need to tell us Murderbot had the perfect plan all ready and ready to go, and then just say, oh, actually we're not, just throw that outside, just throw that away, literally less than a full page after it's been told to us, and we'll just do this other thing instead. She didn't have to do that. This could have been fixed in the fucking editing process for the fucking second draft of this bullshit. But no. No such thing. We're left with this bullshit. And, like, Murderbot is literally forced to disassociate to deal with the situation that it does not need to fucking be in, that is putting it in danger and creating a fucking paper trail, among so many other things. I was blah blah blah, oh yeah, but I needed it. I said, we arranged to meet. I'm Eden, the security consultant. Right, so it was the name of one of the characters in Sanctuary Moon. You probably aren't surprised by that, and Murderbot's just breaking the fourth wall there.
Who's the they? Or who's the you? Murderbot's not narrating.
Yeah,
this to anybody.
Murderbot just casually breaking the fourth wall very abruptly.
Eden is a gender-neutral name, apparently. Don't forget.
We arranged to meet. I'm Eden, the security consultant. Right, so it was the name of one of the characters in Sanctuary Moon, and it's like, one of the characters. And is it Murderbot's favorite character? What does this fucking character do in Sanctuary Moon? What is the fucking plot of Sanctuary Moon? What is the setting? We just keep getting this shit brought up over and over and over again. Just the name of the fucking thing, and told Murderbots, oh, it's rewatching for episode 473 for the bajillionth time. Not going to give us any information about it. It's not thematically relevant in any way. Murderbot's not even aware of the fucking corporate propaganda baked into it. There's no critical thinking skills going on in any way, shape, or form, either in-universe or in the fucking writing process, or demanded of us as the fucking readers. It's absolutely guaranteed that the rise and fall of Sanctuary Moon is stuffed to the gills with corporate propaganda. But that doesn't get acknowledged because Martha Wells doesn't want anybody thinking critically in any fucking way, hence the way these are written, to purposefully make that as difficult as possible by glossing over everything important. But also, she clearly does not have enough critical thinking skills to be aware that that would be a thing. And if she does, she doesn't give a fuck, because if she asks Murderbot to criticize its favorite TV show and think critically about the messages it is sending, such as all the corporate propaganda that's absolutely baked into that thing. Probably a major reason that Murderbot assumed any fucking government and country not run by a corporation is shit. Where did he get that idea? From the rise and fall of Sanctuary Moon. Guaranteed. But if she wrote Murderbot to be engaging critical thinking skills in regards to its favorite media, that would be inviting the audience to use our critical thinking skills in regards to this fucking media, and she does not fucking want that to happen. Martha Wells is one of those fanfiction authors who only wants praise, and only wants praise at all. You are only allowed to use critical thinking skills if you're just, or analyzing, if you're just singing endless praise. The second you have anything to criticize, or even just point out anything whatsoever that's not glowing praise, it's bad and shouldn't exist. That's why the rise and fall of Sanctuary Moon is never criticized or even questioned, bare minimum,
Or even
throughout this thing. We don't even know what the fuck it's about. It's just there. It's just turn your brain off and enjoy it. Don't think about it. Don't use critical thinking skills. Do not use critical thinking skills to analyze these books or anything else that Martha Wells has written, to analyze the fucking messages and themes and the moral values conveyed through it, such as you should worship slave owners, but you should hate minimum wage employees.
You can't kill CEOs because they'll just bring
Yeah,
new one
it's
in,
you.
but
There's
you
no
can
point in
mow down.
killing rich billionaire politicians because another one will just come in. Oh, but it's actually good and awesome, and you should definitely murder and torture slaves to death because the systems aren't. Or it's not the people. By people we mean the rich fucking billionaires and slave owners. They're not the problem. It's just the systems. That's why you should murder slaves. It's all fucking slavery propaganda and propaganda against doing anything about capitalism or just even the bare minimum of criticizing capitalism because, again, we just keep getting told nothing but good things about corporations in this fucking series, even though it's claiming to do the opposite. As I've pointed out in all of the other videos leading up to here, we just keep shilling for the corporation that enslaved Murderbot and pretending, oh, they're so honest, you can totally trust them to investigate themselves. They will always get to the truth because they're so honest. Corporations always investigate impartially and try to get to the truth because they know it matters.
And they have the
It's
best
just
security.
corporate shilling. Huh?
And they have the best security.
And they have the best security ever, and it's just corporate shilling and bootlicking. But it's pretending not to be. Even though it's never actually said a single anti-capitalist thing in the entire 13 fucking stories published so far. And then, yeah, breaking the fourth wall. You probably aren't surprised by that. Why are we breaking the fourth wall? Why? It's so jarring. The Tercera cleared her throat. T had purple hair and red eyebrows, standing out against light brown skin. I'm Rami, that's Tapan and Morrow. T shifted nervously and tapped the empty chair. Art, who was considerably faster than me at data retrieval, performed a quick search and informed me it was an invitation to sit down across several human cultural indices. It was giving me the etymology of the gesture as I sat down. You would think a sec unit who had been shot to pieces multiple times, blown up, memory purged, and once partially dismantled by accident wouldn't be on the verge of panic under these circumstances. You'd be wrong. And again, more showing, or more telling, less showing. We just get told all of these things that supposedly happened in Murderbot's backstory,
Including vivisection.
including a fucking vivisection. And none of them have ever happened on screen, and they never will happen on screen. We have literally no evidence that any of these things ever fucking happened. We just keep getting told, oh, all these horrible things totally happened to Murderbot in an offhand fucking comment, and none of it's ever comes true, even remotely, even when interacting with new villainous humans. Nothing like this shit ever remotely happens. And then Martha Wells just keeps saying this, and then not showing any of it, or backing it up in any way. And then she acts all shocked and confused when people are like, I don't know why Murderbot's scared of humans. That nobody's ever heard it. And it's like, yeah.
I told you they heard it.
Yeah, Martha Wells. No humans have ever fucking hurt Murderbot. Not in the ways you keep telling us, because none of that shit has ever happened on screen, and it's never even been described. We just get told it in an offhand fucking comment.
And there's literally
and there's nothing,
impact.
There's no emotional impact here. And again, like, no. That's explaining exactly why Murderbot should be having a fucking panic attack now. And as I keep pointing out, Murderbot doesn't specifically have trauma about humans. It just has regular social anxiety. That's what's making it anxious right now. Just regular social anxiety. Nothing actually targeted at humans in reaction to all of the horrible things we keep being told has been done to it. Because Martha Wells can't have Murderbot actually be traumatized because of the shit it has been through as an enslaved person being enslaved by slave owners, because that would make slave owners look bad. So instead, she just has to tell us these things in a careless, fucking, emotionless manner, and then never show any of this shit.
The exact moment that she decided that happened.
The exact fucking moment she decided it happened, with no hints that this was a thing leading up to it. And then Murderbot's panic actually has nothing to do with that. It's just because, oh, I feel bad because, I'm a terrifying Murderbot, and real humans are scared of me because I'm scary. And it's, again, we're not actually fucking doing anything with PTSD, because if we actually had Murderbot realistically be traumatized by interacting with humans, meaning slave owners, that would just make slave owners look bad. As I pointed out in book 1, all of its fucking slave owners are getting pissed off. We're told that they're yelling and throwing things and shit. And it's like, any competent writer would have Murderbot reacting to this with instinctive fucking, fear response from PTSD. Its slave owners are so pissed off they are yelling and stomping and throwing shit. What does that mean if you are their fucking slave? It means you are probably going to be fucking punished and hurt. But no. We don't have Murderbot react with panic, even though that would have been the perfect fucking excuse to show these are nice slave owners, because they would have realized that their slave is having a fucking panic attack, thinking they're going to hurt it, and they could have all instantly fucking stopped, apologized, and reassured Murderbot, and given it its fucking space to calm down, and done everything in their power to reassure it that they're not angry at Murderbot, they're not going to hurt it, it's not its fault, they're mad at the corporation, nobody's going to hurt it. We could have done that. We could have taken actual steps to show that these people are good people, but instead we just keep showing that they're just horrific fucking human beings. Over and over. If you actually look at their actions, what they do and what they fucking say as characters in book 1, they're just fucking horrible people. They're just horrible people. But Martha Wells wants us to think they're cute and adorable and wouldn't hurt a fly. We're literally just supposed to go off vibes and ignore everything that they actually do and say, because that's the entire reason this series has succeeded. It's based purely on vibes, when most people reading these books can't even tell you what the fucking plot of each one is after they've read it, even if they've read it multiple times. Let me get a drink. Put the fucking ribbon in. Hello, pretty kitty. Where did the waters go? Oh. Where are you going? That was adorable. Hello, Jaina. Hey, you want to say hi to the camera? This is Jakin. You want to say hi to the camera, cutie pie? If you come this way a bit more. Mr. Jaguar face. You want to look at the camera? Can I pick you up a little bit? Here's Chicken. Look at the camera. He said no. He's purring though. You're a cute boy. You're a cutie kitty. Thank you. Can I sit back down? You can sit with me if you want. Excuse me. Bye. Ozma, are you stuck? Alright, I'm gonna lift Ozma up. Come here, Ozma, you're so fluffy. Here's Ozma. Look at this cutie pie. She's so fluffy. She's like ridiculously fluffy. Look how cute you are. You wanna look at the camera? Look at that little face. Now she's looking. Oh, alright. Just don't push the button. Oh no, don't play with that. That's the book. Now she's standing in the way. You're so fluffy. Now you gotta move. You wanna sit on my lap? Or just go back to where you were? Alright, she's sitting down. Her butt is, her fur's so fluffy, she's just covering the camera. Watch out! Come here. You can either sit with me or go back to playing on the floor, but you gotta pick one. You don't need to grab the couch. I'm not gonna drop you. Come here. Now she's just, look at her tail. She's so fluffy. You gotta move now. You can sit on my lap. Come here. She's just gonna sit in front of it now. Hi. Alright, silly baby. Sit on my lap. Yeah. There we go. Be gentle. They just love tackling each other. Oh, no. Now I'm too low or the phone got tilted. Okay. Let's continue, shall we? Alrighty. Starts on the next page. The Tercera cleared her throat. T had purple hair and red eyebrows, standing out against light brown skin. I'm Rami. That's Tapan and Maro. Oh wait, I was past that part. Yeah. You would think a blah blah blah. List of things that have never happened to Murderbot on screen, or shown any actual effects of these things, except for when we're just saying it and it's supposed to be funny, because this whole paragraph's meant to be a joke. Rami added, I'm not sure where to start. Tapan nudged Tur, apparently conveying moral support. Tapan had multicolored braids wrapped up around her head, and a blue jewel-toned interface clipped to her ear. And again, what does that mean? It could look like anything. And slightly darker skin than Rami. Maro had very dark skin and silver-colored little puffs of hair, and was almost beautiful enough to be in the entertainment media. I'm terrible at estimating human ages because it's not one of the few things I care about. And it's like, again, Murderbot should be careful about noting these things, because the ages of the people around you could be very important in an emergency situation, such as determining who is most likely to panic, who is probably trained in any of this shit, and so many fucking things.
Who you gotta throw over your shoulder like a sack of potatoes.
Literally.
And run them out there while everybody else can move under
Like,
their own power.
which fucking people are more likely, is everybody else more likely to tell you to protect first? Just so much fucking shit. Just basic shit if we are supposed to believe that Murderbot in this setting is a real fucking person who has motivations that make sense. But it doesn't fucking make sense, and it's all just to furnish shitty fucking lazy writing that doesn't even do the bare minimum amount of effort to make sense. Also, most of my experience is with humans on the entertainment feed, and they aren't anything like the ones you see in reality. Again, that is just objectively not fucking true. Murderbot only started being able to watch TV 4 years ago. We don't fucking know how old Murderbot is, because Martha Wells is shit at writing and cannot be asked to tell us. Or she probably doesn't even fucking know herself. In no universe is Murderbot has been able to watch TV for 4 years, equating to Murderbot has more experience watching TV than seeing real fucking humans. That's not how this shit works. It's not like it is a slave who is just assigned to do manual fucking labor on some otherwise completely autonomous fucking asteroid where there's exactly one human supervisor and then a whole bunch of robot and cyborg slaves. That's not how this works. Murderbot is literally always assigned 2 fucking people that it has to guard and interact with. Claiming most of Murderbot's experience with humans is watching them on TV. That's just literally not fucking true. That's not how this works. In any fucking way. Even when you account for its fucking amnesia, that's not how that fucking works. Also, most of my experience is with humans on the entertainment feed, and they aren't anything like the ones you see in reality. Also, now in parentheses, one of the many reasons I'm not fond of reality. But I thought all 3 might be young. Not children, but maybe not that far from adolescence. You coming up here, Eclipsy?
They're
Nope.
teenagers?
Not children, but maybe not that far from adolescence.
So they're teenagers.
Probably.
That's what we're going for.
Well, I think adolescent usually means a teenager, so slightly older than a teenager, so like 19 or 20 maybe. But then again, I thought Iris was established to be 19 or 20 or something. And I guess not, according to the newest fucking thing. It's terrible. Or who knows? Now that I'm live reading them, maybe we'll find that that was literally established and Martha Wells just lies about it in later books, like she did in the books of the Raxura, because I was literally remembering correctly, and then she just fucking lied about it in later books. They stared at me, and I realized I was going to have to help. I said, cautiously, "You want to hire a security consultant?" This was what they had posted on the social feed, and from the number of similar requests, it was common for groups and individuals to hire private security before going to Ravi Highrow. I guess hiring human security guards is what you do when you can't afford real security. Translation? I guess hiring an actual person that you fucking pay is what you do when you can't buy a fucking slave. And that's supposed to be funny and insulting to the people who don't own slaves. That's... Would you like me to just read that sentence out so you can just make a whole thing?
No, I'm doing stuff.
Let me repeat. I guess hiring human security guards is what you do when you can't afford real security. I guess hiring a fucking security guard you pay for the job is what you do when you cannot buy an enslaved meat shield. That's what that means. That's the sentiment, and it goes completely unfucking criticized. We're meant to literally agree with that statement. Legitimately. There's no pushback on that whatsoever. Rami seemed relieved. Yes, we need help. Morrow threw a look around and said, "We shouldn't talk here, maybe. Is there somewhere else we could go?" It had been stressful enough getting here. I didn't want to have to go anywhere else right now. Because, again, Art has fucking forced it into a situation, and Martha Wells has written a shitty book, forcing it into a situation that it doesn't need to be in, where it is under so much stress, it's literally disassociating right now. And it didn't need to happen. I did a quick scan for drones, then initiated a glitch in the connection between the restaurant and transit ring security. I caught the cameras and showed Art what I wanted it to do. It took over and edited me out of the system's recording and cut the camera watching the table out of the system. I unglitched the connection to the ring's main security, which wouldn't notice the missing camera feed for the short time we would be here. So much wrong here, and again, Murderbot can just do all of this shit without any fucking effort at all. I said, "It's alright. We're not being recorded." Again, Murderbot can literally hack anything it wants at any fucking point, whenever it wants, with zero fucking effort. "It's alright. We're not being recorded." They stared at me. Rami said, "But there's security. Did you do something?" I'm a security consultant, I repeated. My panic level was starting to drop, primarily because they were so obviously nervous. Humans are nervous. Looky. Humans are nervous of me because I'm a terrifying murderbot, and I'm nervous of them because they're humans. But I knew that humans could also be wary and nervous of each other in non-combat and non-adversarial situations, in reality, and not just as part of a story. That was what seemed to be happening, but it let me pretend this was business as usual during one of the rare occasions when clients asked me my advice about security. And again, this is Murderbot re-traumatizing itself. It literally feels like it's back at home, being a fucking slave, business as usual. And this is portrayed positively. Murderbot is back in the fucking mindset that it is a goddamn slave. It is property. And the only thing it can do is just push a tiny bit to try and get things to be done safely, but not actually be able to direct anything. It let me pretend that this was business. Why am I saying the word business so weirdly? Business as usual during one of the rare occasions when clients asked my advice about security. Legitimately. Murderbot it's disassociating and it's literally fucking re-traumatizing itself.
And this would never be.
And there's no pushback. This isn't harmful for Murderbot as far as the fucking story is concerned. As far as this goddamn series is concerned, this is literally the only thing that Murderbot should ever be doing with its life, because this is the purpose it was built for. Even though, and this is the only way it can be happy. My phone screen dimmed. That might mean the battery. No, why are you lying? You're at 54%. Why are you dimming the screen? Fucking liar. Weird phone, alright. Lying. Yeah, it's just re-traumatizing itself. And as far as this series is concerned, this is the only thing that Murderbot will ever be good for. Because Martha Wells said, free will? No, it doesn't exist for slaves. They should always just stay slaves. That's the only way they can ever be happy. Because, every single story about that concept is wrong. Mewtwo is fucking wrong. Part of my job as a sec unit was to give clients advice when they asked for it, as I was theoretically the one with all the information on security. Not that a lot of them had asked for it, or had listened to me. Not that I'm bitter about that, or anything. And see that stupid little sarcasm right there? People say, oh, see that's proof that Murderbot is an unreliable narrator. That means you can't criticize the series for any of the blatant fucking slavery apologism. And it's like, first of all, blatant fucking sarcasm is not the same thing as being an unreliable narrator, because nobody's going to read that. Not that I'm bitter about that or anything. That's not meant to be taken seriously. That's sarcasm. That's not actually Murderbot being an unreliable narrator. Being sarcastic and being an unreliable narrator are two very fucking different things. Tapan looked impressed. So you're spliced, right? And if you're wondering, no, it will never come up again. That word spliced, never again. It's just here because it sounds sci-fi-y, and then we can't even do the effort of keeping it. Tapan looked impressed. So you're spliced, right? She patted the back of her neck, indicating where my data port was. You got augments? You have extra access to the feed, and again, remember that data port that in book 1 was inside Murderbot's neck, so that you have to literally fucking chop it. Literally, Murderbot described it as feeling like my head was being sawn off. The data port that the stupid combat override module, whose name I always say in random order because it's terrible, that's not just on the back of the neck for everybody to see. It's not just a USB port on a computer. It was literally internal and clearly not meant to actually be accessed. But no, we're retconning that. So it's just a fucking really, really blatant USB port or whatever on the back of Murderbot's neck for everybody to see. Because bad writing. And also, it's literally never going to be undeactivated. So it literally is just there for bullshit and no other purpose. It was literally only invented so that Martha Wells could have a scene of the slave trying to kill itself to protect its slave owners, which was literally originally meant to succeed. Spliced was an informal term for an augmented human. I had heard it on the entertainment feed, And again, we're just being told this. What? We could have just been given a goddamn scene from Sanctuary Moon. Murderbot could have walked onto this station, and there was a giant, big fucking TV up there, up on the ceiling, playing some fucking thing. We could have just gotten the goddamn dialogue and just a description of the scene. You know, what I'm doing in my one story that I can't write now because my fucking laptop. That's the thing. We're just being told, oh, I've seen that on the entertainment feed. No, you have not. You objectively have not, because Martha Wells didn't fucking bother to write that. She literally just decided to use the word spliced now. And then tried to say, oh yeah, it's totally always been a thing. Murderbot sees it on the entertainment feed. It's never going to come up ever again. Because what's continuity? Not for Martha Wells. We don't need that. That's just a basic fucking tool of writing. We don't need those.
It literally never comes up again.
Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. I fucking know it. I would have remembered. Yeah, they just checked. Literally never comes up again because, you know, continuity, basic fucking writing. I'd heard it on the entertainment feed. I said yes, then added, among other things. Rami's red brows lifted in understanding. Morrow looked impressed and said, I don't know if we can afford... Our credit account is... If we can get our data back, then... Rami took it up again. Then we would have plenty to pay you. Art, who was apparently very interested in the job scenario, started to search the public feed for a pay scale for private security consultants. I reminded myself that I was pretending not to be a sec unit, so me questioning them wouldn't seem out of the ordinary. I decided to start with the basic information. Why do you want to hire me? And again, Murderbot has to literally remind itself that it's not a slave in this situation and it is allowed to ask questions. And you'll see later in this fucking book that that's not working. Rami looked at the other two, got nods in response, and cleared her throat. We were working on Ravi High Ral for Talasi Excavations, one of the smaller Umro contractors. And again, we're just throwing out fucking words, and none of them matter in any way because there's no actual fucking world building. We do mineral research and technology development. T explained that they were a collective of technologists, 7 of them plus dependents, who traveled from work contract to work contract. The others were waiting in a hotel suite with Rami, Morrow, and Tapan having been deputized to act for the group. It was a relief to hear that their mining experience was in tech and research. In the mining contracts I had. The techs were usually in offices off the pit site or adjacent to it, and we didn't see them unless they got intoxicated and tried to kill each other, which admittedly was rare. Talasi's terms were great, Tapan added, but maybe too great, if you know what I mean. Art did a quick search and returned the opinion that it was intended to be a figure of speech. I told it I knew that. And again, Art's just lying here. It doesn't need to look this shit up. It knows all of this shit. It's just lying. And the things that make it a liar is that Martha Wells doesn't give a fuck about continuity, even when not caring makes the characters just horrible in hindsight, even more than they already were. That's the same fucking problem with the Preservation Aux team. Rami continued, we took the contract because it would give us time to work on our own stuff. We'd had this idea to develop new detection systems for strange synthetics. I forgot they get called strange synthetics. That's funny. Ravi High Ral has a lot of identified deposits, so it's a great place for research. Strange synthetics is just the fucking xenomorph goop that she's ripping off, and it's a ripoff. I just made a whole goddamn video about this, explaining this. It's a ripoff, because she's not actually putting in the fucking effort to just do world building, just the bare minimum amount of fucking world building. Strange synthetics were elements left behind by alien civilizations. Telling the difference between them and naturally occurring elements that were previously unidentified was a problem in mining. Like the remnants of alien occupation/civilization uncovered by Grey Chris on my last contract, they were off limits for commercial development. You see how we're just casually saying there were totally remnants of alien occupation and civilization in the first book, and it's like, No, there weren't. We could have seen this shit. We did not. We just get told all this shit, and it's just
Completely
ephemeral.
after the fact.
It's after the fact. It's just bullshit. This is not proper writing in any fucking way. That was all I'd ever needed to know, since every job I'd ever had involving alien material was just me standing around guarding the people who were working on it. In parentheses, Art tried to explain it to me, and I told it to save it for later. I needed to focus. So again, we're saying Murderbot has literally been on missions entirely about strange synthetics or alien remnants, aka rip-off xenomorph goop, multiple times, but has just never bothered to learn the bare fucking minimum, including the bare fucking minimum that it would pick up from standing there while people are talking about it. Because that would actually require Martha Wells to do fucking work. That's my blanket. They just keep stabbing me through it, so just shake it because they got dust all over it. Ronnie, no. Is he stealing your spot?
Yes.
Rami said, "We were making good progress, but then suddenly our group got terminated with no notice, and they took our data." Tapan waved her hands. "All our work! It wasn't anything to do with our contract." Morrow finished. "Talasi stole it, basically, and they deleted the most current version off our devices. We had copies of the older iterations, but we've lost all our recent work." And it's just weird. They're just completing each other's sentences. Because we don't need to have 3 characters here. This could literally just be one person.
One representative while the others are
Mhm.
hanging back somewhere.
Rami added, "We filed a complaint with UMRO, but it's taking forever to process it, and we don't know if it's ever going to come to anything." I said, "This sounds like something you should go to a solicitor about," aka lawyer. It wasn't unusual. The company data mined too, but it wasn't as clumsy or obvious as to try to delete the work from the original creator's devices. If it did that, then the creators wouldn't come back and enter into more security bond agreements, which would give the company access to whatever they were working on next. And again, we just keep shilling for this fucking company. It's like, so are they really good at what they do, or are they terrible? It depends on what is needed in this exact fucking sentence. "We thought about a solicitor," Rami said, "but we weren't in the union, so it would be expensive. Why aren't you in the union?" "What union?" I'm getting a drink.
Exist?
For this single fucking sentence, yes.
Do you have any clue where I put the yellow glow in the dark paint?
Is it not on the stack of all the rest?
Because these kitties keep losing it.
Hello, Rami. Is it behind the computer right there? See if I can use the blanket without my legs getting stabbed again. Continue.
Thanks, Katie.
Yeah, unions exist for exactly one fucking line right now. Because I should not be turning away from the camera. We thought about a solicitor, Rami said, but we aren't in the union, so it would be expensive. But then yesterday, like literally, what union? What union? Why aren't you in it? Why isn't the union helping you? Why aren't we doing anything with this? But then yesterday, Talasi finally answered our petition and said we could have the files back if we returned our signing bonus. We have to go down to Rabbi Hyrel to do that. T sat back into her chair. That's why we wanted to hire you. This was starting to make sense. You don't trust Talasi. We just want somebody on our side, Tapan clarified. No, we definitely don't trust... Huh?
I put it up here to go.
Oh. No, we definitely don't trust Talasi, Morrow countered. Not at all. Fancy. You can hold it in front of the camera. Glow. Oh, it's actually it glowed white. That's supposed to be yellow?
Yeah, it's very green.
Whatever. What makes it glow green in particular? Do they all just glow green when they're under light and then they're just regular color when they're not?
No, they glow different colors, and then it's only the actual pigment itself is only visible when it's in the bottle or a bajillion layers.
Okay, that's weird. No, we definitely don't trust Talisi, Morrow countered. Not at all. We need security for when we get there, if things get touchy. Talisi herself is supposed to meet us, and she has an entourage of bodyguards, and there's no general security except what Emro has in the public areas in the port, and that's not much. I didn't know exactly what she thought she meant by touchy, but all the scenarios I could imagine in that situation weren't good ones. The company offered sec units, so the clients didn't have to hire humans to guard each other. From what I had seen in the serials, me doing a half-assed version of my job was still better than a human trying to do it. And again, just more slavery apologism. Martha Wells is just telling us, and we're never meant to question this ever, that
According to the rise and fall of Sanctuary.
literally, according to the rise and fall of Sanctuary Moon, which we will not question in any way, a fucking soap opera that has to have stupid drama on purpose to run. It's a fucking soap opera. Oh, the human security guards on the fucking soap opera that we're not questioning in any way, they're really bad at their jobs because it's a soap opera and plot has to happen. That means humans can never be trusted to do security, and the only option is to have enslaved meat shields like me. The moral here is literally, and this is never going to be questioned in any fucking capacity ever, it's literally just saying, you'll never be safe unless you hire an enslaved meat shield. And by hire, I mean rent out or buy an enslaved meat shield. That's literally what this fucking book is saying right now. And it just keeps, and this will get doubled down on throughout the entire fucking series. Literally.
Oh, by the way, human shield.
Yeah.
Should be the term.
Meat shield.
I know, but to really hammer it home, especially
Yeah.
in Witch King.
Yeah. Martha Wells has decided that the protagonists using human shields isn't good enough for just doing it in the Murderbot Diaries. She's doing it in Witch King, her shitty new fantasy series. And in that one, the human shield is a literal fucking child who has been groomed his entire life into a pedophilic eugenics program. And now he's being used as a human shield by his adult fucking love interest. Fully grown adult. And the young child that is his love interest is being used as a human shield for him, and this is meant to be cool and badass and romantic instead of horrifying. Also, hi. You want to say hi? Here's Polychrome. Hello. You want to say hi to the camera? She immediately wants to step on the book. Hold on. Don't step on the book. You can sniff the book. You just can't step on it. Here. You leaving? You gonna lay down? She hasn't stabbed me. It's mostly Jaina, Jakin, and Mr. Lupin who like to stab me through the blanket. You gonna sit down? She's just looking at the floor now. Hello? You gonna come back over? 100 an hour and 47 minutes. What are you doing? You're just walking in a circle. We've gone 10 pages. Can you sit your butt down? Yeah, we're just doing slavery apologism, saying that the only way to be safe is to use an enslaved human shield. I was still watching us through the captured security camera, even though I wasn't allowing it to record. I could see my expression was dubious, but in this case I think the situation warranted it. I said, the meeting with Talisi could be held through a secured comm channel. The company bonded those too, for funds and data transfer. Morrow, whose expression was even more dubious than mine, said, yeah, but Talisi wants to do it in person. Rami admitted, we know it doesn't sound like a good idea to go. It was a great idea to go if you wanted to be murdered. I had hoped for an easier job, courier duty or something similar, but this was protecting humans who were determined to do something dangerous, which was exactly the kind of job I was designed for. The job that I had kept doing more or less, often as less as possible, even after I had hacked my governor module. I was used to having something useful to do, taking care of something, even if it was only a contractually obligated group of humans who, if I was lucky, treated me like a tool and not a toy. Do I even need to say anything? Again, This is just explicitly Murderbot fucking being re-traumatized and being forcibly fucking trapped in the mentality that it is literally just enslaved and it has no right and it just has to do this and nothing else is possible for it.
And this is not being stated to be critiqued.
Yeah, this
Out
isn't,
interviews.
we're not saying this to point it out and criticize it. It's not going to come back to bite Murderbot. It's never going to outgrow this. This is literally just what Martha Wells, she will literally say explicitly in interviews, this is the only thing that Murderbot can ever do. Because this is what it was designed to do. Because we're dehumanizing it and saying that some people are just fucking biologically engineered just naturally to be enslaved. It's literally just the house elves, again, but in science fiction fucking trappings, barely, instead of fucking fantasy. It's literally just the happy slaves trope. It's just fucking white supremacist slavery apologism. After Preservation Ops, it had occurred to me how different it would be to do my job as an actual member of the group I was protecting. And that was the main reason I was here. Because it's here to double check. I have the hiccups now. It's here to double check that it actually hacked its governor module after, so that it didn't kill the people that it supposedly killed in its backstory. Did you forget that that's why they're here? Because I did. And I'm aware of it. Yeah, Murderbot's here to make sure that it can go back to its beloved Preservation Aux slave owners and know that it won't accidentally just go crazy one day and murder them. That's literally why it's here. It's here it ran away from them because it didn't want to accidentally hurt them. So this book is supposed to be solving the mystery of Murderbot's backstory that wasn't actually a fucking mystery. And that was the main reason I was here. Yeah. I phrased it as a question because pretending you were asking for more information was the best way to try to get humans to realize they were doing something stupid. So do you think there's another reason Lacey wants you to do this exchange in person other than ... killing you? So somebody should just ask Martha Wells as a question, hey, why do you think it's a good idea to constantly worship slave owners? Huh? Why do you think that's a good idea? Why are we still killing and torturing slaves? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a progressive moral stance? Do you think you have girl power by showing that it's good to torture slaves to death 12 fucking books into the series while worshiping slave owners every single step of the way? Tapan grimaced, as if that was something she had been aware of, but trying not to think about. Morrow tapped the table and pointed at me, which was vaguely alarming until Art identified it as a gesture of emphatic agreement. You may recall, I told you all to remember this. In Book 1, I told you all to keep this quote in mind. She's so bad at this. She's so fucking bad at writing. Oh, pointing at me for emphasis? I've never seen that before, says Murderbot in this book, like that didn't literally fucking happen with Rathy in Book 1. I told you all to remember it. I hope you remembered it. If you're watching this as the first video, you obviously won't remember it unless you've just read that book recently. Yeah, she's so fucking bad at writing, she can't even be bothered to keep track of basic shit, such as, yes, Murderbot does in fact know that people will point at you in agreement. Because that literally happened in Book 1. Very distinctly. And no, Murderbot did not find it mildly alarming. It understood exactly what it was going on. So she's just lying to us because she can't fucking write for shit.
This is to make Art's random-ass fucking comments useful.
Yeah.
Artificial.
This is literally just there to pretend that...
condition of Art being useful.
Mm-hmm. Rami took a sharp breath and said, we think... We weren't finished. Our process was incomplete, but we were so enthusiastic about it. We think they might have listened in using the security feeds and heard us talking and thought we were much further along than we actually were. So I don't know if they can complete it. Maybe they realize it's not worth much without us to finish it. And it's like, this is just so fucking ridiculous. Why would the company that wants to steal this from them not wait until it's for sure completed and then just steal it? It's so ridiculous. It's just, they're so bad at this.
Also, they have more than just wiretaps.
Uh-huh.
They have video.
Yeah.
They have, like, biometrics. There's literally no reason that some barely adolescents can make a thing that nobody else under the company's employ could do.
Mm-hmm. And if these guys are barely older than teenagers, and they're the ones being sent here for representing the whole group, how old is everybody else? And how many fucking children do they have? And why are these guys the ones being sent here? How old is everybody else? Yeah. Maybe Talisi wants us to work for her again, Tapan said, hopefully. Probably before she murders you, I didn't say. Morrow snorted. I would rather, I don't know why I'm pronouncing words so weirdly. I would rather live in a box in a station mall than work for her again. Once they had started to talk about it, it was hard for them to stop. The collective was completely divided on what to do, which was apparently painful for all of them since they were used to agreeing on everything. I guess the collective is meant to refer to a massive group marriage? Or, because that's what it's implying, because we were told, and dependents, meaning children and elderly family members and shit.
People who are...
Huh?
What's their age description?
Yeah, and these are, that's why I was pointing out these people who are probably not probably not too far from being adolescents, meaning like 19 or 20, I would guess. They're the ones who've been sent to be representatives for the entire massive group, meaning everybody else is probably younger than them. What are the ages of the rest of the fucking people that they're married to? Begs the fucking question, especially considering Martha Wells' track record for romanticizing and normalizing pedophilia. Tapan, who according to Morrow was too naive for this existence, thought it was worth a try. Morrow, who according to Tapan was a cynical impediment to both fun and progress, thought they were screwed and should just cut their losses. Rami was undecided, which was why T had been elected leader of the collective for the duration of this problem. Literally. How old is everybody else in this fucking group marriage? Oh, there's a bug.
Also, this implies that they're saying all these descriptions of each other out loud in this conversation.
Yeah.
During this conversation.
Now the phone doesn't understand that. Okay. Go away, bug. Yeah. Finally, Rami finished. Wait, now, hold on. Rami did not seem thrilled by the collective's confidence, but was gamely trying to proceed. Finally, Rami finished up with, "So that's why we want to hire you. We thought it would be better to go in with someone who could protect us, keep her crew from messing with us, show her we have backup while we negotiate." And it's just like, this is just such a terrible plan, but we're just going along with it.
I have to interrupt. Every time you say Rami, I'm imagining Rafi.
Because it's literally the same, except for one letter switched out for two.
Amina and Arada.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Bashasa and Bashat.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even a hereditary fucking title. Finally, Rami finished up with, "So that's why we want to hire you." Oh wait, no, I got that far. What they needed was a security company willing to bond them for the meeting and return trip and send a sec unit with them to guarantee their safety. But security companies like that were expensive and wouldn't be interested in a job this small. Again, literally just saying, they should just hire a fucking company to rent them an enslaved human shield. What they need is a slave to get stabbed and almost murdered for them. To literally act as a human fucking shield. They should just get a slave. And then there's no further fucking commentary on this statement whatsoever. Not here, not now, not in the future, not ever. Because this book is just slavery apologism, because Martha Wells is racist and loves slavery apologism. They all stared at me worriedly. In the security camera view from that angle, it was obvious how small they were. They looked so soft, with all the fluffy multicolored hair. And nervous, but not of me. I said, I accept your job. Also, we're just infantilizing them. Just infantilizing them.
She describes black hair as.
She has a... Martha Wells, as a white woman from Texas, really has a fucking pattern of referring to black hair simply as fluffy. And she did that a lot in the books of the Raxura, simply just describing people's hair as fluffy and giving it no other fucking description. And we're just infantilizing them now, even though we're told they're not children. Rami and Tapan looked relieved, and Mara, who clearly still didn't want to do this, looked resigned. She said, "How much do we pay you?" She glanced uncertainly at the others. "Can we afford you, I mean?" Art had a set of spreadsheets ready, but I didn't want to scare them off with a figure that was too high. "How much were they paying you before you were terminated?" Rami said, "It's 200 CRs." We will never get an explanation for what that stands for. "Per cycle for each worker for the limited term of contract." It didn't sound like this would take more than a cycle. "You can pay me that." And again, cycle, we still have no fucking definition of what that means. It seems here to be being used to mean a day, so they were getting paid 200 CRs. What the fuck does that stand for?
What can you buy with that?
What can you buy with that? Insert a long fucking monologue from... I just forgot what the fuck it's called. A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court. Insert that fucking monologue about inflation. Yeah. It's 200 CRs per day, ? For each worker for the limited term of contract. It didn't sound like this would take more than a cycle. "You can pay me that." 1 cycle share of the contract? Rami sat up straight. "Really?" Her reaction meant I'd asked for far too little, but it was too late to correct the mistake. I did need to give them a reason why I was willing to settle for a small amount, and I decided the partial truth was better. I need to go to Rabbi High Rao, and I need an employment contract to get there. Like, this isn't a completely suspicious fucking thing to tell people. "Why?" Tapan asked, and Rami nudged her by way of admonishment. "I mean, I know we don't have a right to ask, but... ... This is in italics. "Don't have a right to ask." End italics. That wasn't something that had ever applied to me before Preservation Aux. It didn't apply to you during the Preservation Aux meeting. They literally fucking invaded your goddamn mind and then told everybody about it.
After making you remove your mask so that you'd be even more emotionally vulnerable. And Mensa did that.
Yep. No, you got that timeline wrong. That happened afterwards. That happened after they literally invaded its mind and knew every single thing about its life.
Oh, I meant she told Murderbot to remove its faceplate so it'd be more emotionally vulnerable, and then they interrogated it about what they found in its mind.
That was adorable. I told the truth again. I need to do some research there for another client. Like Art, they understood the idea of research, especially proprietary research, and they didn't ask any further questions. Rami told me they were scheduled to leave for Rabbi High Rao during the next cycle, and said T would put in the request for the private employment voucher. I arranged to meet them in the mall. Wait, hold on. If Murderbot needs a fucking employment voucher to get there, how exactly are they getting back? If they're not being hired again by Talasi. Which she could just force them to... Again, basic writing shit. Murderbot needs an employment thing to get there. They were fired. How are they getting back over there? Why isn't Talasi simply forcing them to literally sign on to work for her again for whatever fucking terms she gets to set, because she has everything, including all their shit. Basic shit. We're almost done this chapter, but I have to interrupt it to say that. Like, literally. That could be a whole fucking thing. That could be an actual show of all the shit that people have to put up within this system, including these disgustingly rich, fucking stupid researchers. And yes, I say disgustingly rich, because their job is to sit around in cushy offices doing fucking research, including their own goddamn research for their own fucking projects on another company's time. They're not actually doing any of the fucking mining. They're not doing any of the labor. They're literally just sitting around fucking goofing off, doing their own shit, their own fucking passion projects, and getting paid by somebody else on company time, and that's explicitly what they're allowed to do. They're not poor people, even though we keep saying, oh, they couldn't afford to hire a slave, and it's like, no, they're not poor. They're literally fucking academics who literally got paid to do whatever the fuck they wanted. That's not a poor person you're describing. Rami told me they were scheduled to leave for Rabbi Hyrel during the next cycle, and said T would put in the request for the private employment voucher. I'm going to be bothered by this forever now. Literally, why didn't Talasi just... Why are they allowed to just go there without having to sign up to work for her again? With literally whatever terms she imposes. We could have had a whole fucking thing where they are being forced to do this if they want to get their stupid fucking data back. And it's literally not important enough for that to matter. So they should just be leaving. But if we pretend they're fucking desperate, just say they're being forced to sign up for this bullshit contract to get it. And they have to go with whatever she says, or they can't get it. And then Murderbots, just anything at all. Anything to actually fucking have just basic continuity within this much of this goddamn book where we establish you can only go to this fucking moon if you have a job there. Why are they allowed to go back there? They were explicitly fired. They're no longer her employees. How are they allowed to go there? Because if it were as simple as, oh, I'm visiting somebody there, Murderbot would just be able to fucking fake a visitor's pass. The answer is, it's shit, lazy fucking writing that doesn't care. I arranged to meet them in the mall near the access for the shuttle embarkation zone and then left. I released the security camera as soon as I was out of range. So we were told that, the security people won't notice that the camera is not functioning properly for the short time we'll be here. And then it's probably at least half a fucking hour because, remember, the three people went on a huge rant between themselves where they apparently described each other in very specific detail. I got back to Art and huddled in my favorite chair and we watched episodes for the next 3 hours. We watched episodes for the next 3 hours while I calmed down. We're not even saying episodes of what. We just watched episodes. I went home and I watched episodes. Of what? Don't fucking know. And again.
While it calmed down from what? What
From,
has been described?
Exactly. Literally nothing has been described. Again, Murderbot is really fucking angry right now. Just like Kai was abruptly really fucking angry right now. And the fucking old lady, piece of shit creeper who doesn't even have a name as far as I know, suddenly was really fucking angry about the dude that she just very calmly took out without any sense of shock, anger, even surprise. But all of a sudden, she's so mad, and it's like, why? Why? Why are you mad? And again, even if we ignore the shit writing. So, that was so fucking stressful for Murderbot that it literally has to huddle up in a chair like this for 3 hours because it's so fucking stressed and panicked. None of that was fucking shown to us. We're being told that now. And again, this doesn't need to be happening. Murderbot doesn't need to be re-traumatizing itself like this. But this is just being presented as what must happen, even though it literally doesn't need to happen. Murderbot literally had the perfect fucking safe plan. This is just Murderbot being fucking abused by Art, because it entertains Art. It's literally just using Murderbot like a shiny new toy. It gets to wind up and send into a fucking panic attack for fun. Art monitored the transit ring's feed alert in case someone had realized what I was, but there was nothing. So Art is literally making sure to tell Murderbot, oh hey, I'm keeping track in case anybody found out you're a fucking slave. I told you so, Art said. Again? Again? No, there's no I told you so here. Murderbot's plan did not involve storage low tap to man. There's no I told you so. I have to speed talk. Murderbot's plan did not involve going to this bullshit and doing this shit in the first place. There's no I told you so. It's just bullshit. I ignored it. I hadn't been detected, so now it was time to think about the rest of the plan, which now involved keeping my new clients alive. Art has literally just fucking tricked Murderbot into being a meat shield. Again. For fucking slave owners. Bye. Okay, it's really yelling at me.